Your body is not breaking down because you're getting older. It's breaking down because the modern world was designed to make it break down. That stiffness you feel every single morning, that hesitation before you stand up. They told you it's just aging. They lied. What if your body isn't failing, but is the victim of a trillion-dollar industrial trap? A trap designed to atrophy your strength so you'll keep buying their solutions. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how this trap works and how to escape it in your own living room. Understand this. I am not here as your doctor to prescribe medication. I am a researcher of human evolution. What we are about to do is explore the forgotten blueprints of your ancestral machine. Listen to your body. Consult your physician if you must. For millions of years, the human machine was built for chaos. Uneven earth, loose stones, unpredictable terrain. Every single step was a mathematical equation solved in milliseconds by your nervous system. Your foot houses 26 bones, 33 joints. It is not just a lever, it is a sensory organ. A radar, then we paved the world. Flat asphalt, seamless concrete, perfectly smoothed carpets. We engineered the friction out of our lives. And in doing so, we created an environmental sensory deprivation chamber for your nervous system. We silence the dialogue between the earth and your brain. Scientists call this feedback loop proprioception. Think of it as your body's internal GPS, a silent radar that tells your brain exactly where your joints are in three-dimensional space. Even in total darkness, when you walk on uneven ground, this GPS is forced to stay awake. It fires signals constantly, demanding micro-adjustments from the tiny stabilizing muscles around your ankles and knees. It signals your body to rebuild. But what happens when you spend decades walking only on perfectly flat, predictable surfaces? The system goes dormant. The GPS powers down. Without the demand for micro-adjustments, those stabilizing muscles simply fall asleep. Your foundation loses its ancestral resilience. This brings us to a biomechanical loophole you can see in modern care facilities. As we age, the industry insists on placing us in environments entirely devoid of texture. They eradicate every minor obstacle. They replace steps with smooth ergonomic ramps. They call this the ultimate standard of care. But are these perfectly smooth, obstacle-free zones truly built for your protection? Or is this the most efficient way to remove the very last balance test your body has left, ensuring you become permanently dependent on their system? When you remove the challenge, you remove the body's ability to respond to a challenge. Safety does not lie in eliminating resistance. Resistance is the very thing that preserves your physical independence. The less your ankles work to find balance, the more that burden shifts upward. Your knees and hips absorb the shock your feet have forgotten how to handle. The industrial solution? Sell you thick, heavily cushioned shoes to wear on these hard, flat surfaces, further isolating your joints from reality. A brilliant business model, but an absolute biomechanical tragedy. Now, we cannot bulldoze the suburban sidewalks. We cannot rip up the foundations of our modern homes, but we do not have to surrender our ancestral joint mechanics to the architecture of convenience. Here is your first actionable bridge. A small shift you can make during your very next session at home. Take a soft, thick cushion from your sofa or a dedicated balance pad. Place it near a sturdy wall. Stand barefoot on this uneven, yielding surface for just 2 minutes a day. Hold on to the wall for safety if you must, but let your feet sink in. Feel your ankles wobbling. That wobble is not weakness. That is the sound of your internal GPS waking up. That is your nervous system fighting to regain your stability. By challenging the flat surface fallacy in the safety of your own home, you signal your body to rebuild. You are telling your joints the journey is not over. The ancestral machine is ready to be utilized once again. We have been conditioned to look at a steep flight of stairs as a daunting obstacle. In the modern world, stairs are viewed as an enemy to the aging body, a barrier to be bypassed at all costs. So we engineered the elevator, a seamless metal box that carries us effortlessly between floors. Marketed as the ultimate tool for preserving energy and protecting weary joints. But if we look to the blue zones of the world, specifically the mountainous villages of Sardinia, we see a starkly different narrative. These centenarians do not have elevators. Their daily lives are defined by relentless vertical movement against gravity. Every single time they ascend those ancient stone steps, they execute a profound biomechanical optimization, what experts call closed kinetic chain movements. The foot is firmly planted, forcing the massive muscles of the hips and thighs to ignite. This constant fight against gravity is not breaking their bodies down. It is the exact mechanism keeping their ancestral joint mechanics alive. This is governed by a fundamental law of biological science, the SAID principle, specific adaptation to imposed demands. Think of your body as an incredibly efficient factory. It only produces exactly what is demanded of it. If you constantly demand that your legs lift your body weight up an incline, the factory allocates resources to build powerful, resilient legs. But when you step into an elevator, you send a completely different work order. You stand in a state of passive suspension. You tell your nervous system the struggle against gravity is no longer required. And then there is Wolff's law. Your bones adapt based on the specific mechanical stress placed upon them. Your skeleton is not inanimate material. It is living tissue, constantly remodeling itself. When you push yourself up a flight of stairs, you send a clear, undeniable signal to reinforce bone density in your hips, your knees, and your lower back. You demand structural integrity. The elevator trap is insidious because it feels like a reward. But in the silent language of your biology, the absence of strain is interpreted as a signal to power down. Without vertical load, Wolff's law dictates your body will stop reinforcing those vital bones. Let me say something that might haunt you. Every time you choose the elevator, you are not saving your knees. You are casting a vote. A vote that says, I accept the gradual loss of my physical independence, because your body does not hear your intentions. It only reads the signals, and silence is a signal to begin the demolition. Now, I am not suggesting you abandon all modern conveniences. We must be practical, but we must also consciously inject small, deliberate doses of gravity back into our daily lives. Here is your next actionable break. Simple and profoundly effective. Find the bottom step of a staircase in your home, or a highly stable, low footstool. Hold firmly onto a handrail or a heavy table for absolute security. We are not doing this for speed. We are doing this to regain stability through controlled mechanics. Slowly step up with one leg. Focus entirely on pressing your whole foot into the surface. Feel the tension in your thigh and your glute. Then slowly step back down. Repeat this small movement 5 times on each side. A tiny, deliberate fight against gravity. This small shift activates the SAD principle. You break the cycle of the elevator trap. You send a direct, undeniable signal to your body to rebuild its foundation. Now let us look at the historical blueprints of human civilization. For centuries, our living spaces were intimately woven with our markets and our fields. Procuring food was not a passive errand. It was an intensely physical daily requirement that fortified the human machine. Then the modern era introduced suburban zoning. We separated our homes from commercial hubs by miles of highways. We transformed the active pursuit of gathering resources into a completely passive task requiring an automobile. By removing the necessity to walk and carry our provisions, we erased a movement pattern fundamental to our evolutionary survival. Our ancestors practiced the farmer's carry daily. They walked long distances bearing heavy loads, water from the well, crops from the field, moving with natural postural alignment and absolute purpose. This was not a workout. It was the baseline requirement for human existence. This ancestral habit was a profound biomechanical optimization known as axial loading. Think of it as the architectural principle of stacking heavy stone pillars in an ancient cathedral. Steady downward pressure from gravity locks the structure more firmly into place, creating an immovable foundation. When you carry a moderate weight in your hands while walking, that downward force travels vertically through your spine. This pressure signals your nervous system to engage the deep muscles of your core. It stabilizes your torso and demands that your bones maintain their density and resilience. Suburban zoning eliminated this essential mechanical stress. Today, we roll lightweight carts across perfectly leveled floors. We transfer goods directly into the trunk of a car and drive home. The structural pillars of your body are left unchallenged. Without regular, controlled downward pressure, the deep stabilizing muscles surrounding your spine begin to weaken. Your body assumes this robust, load-bearing architecture is no longer necessary. The muscles atrophy. The bones become less dense. The posture begins to collapse forward. This is not the inevitable decay of aging. This is environmental deprivation of mechanical nutrition. And once again, the industry had a solution. Not to fix the environment, but to sell you thick, heavily cushioned shoes to survive walking on their concrete. The cushioning alters how your foot interacts with the ground. It silences the feedback loop. You can no longer sense the subtle variations of the earth. So you strike the ground much harder, sending damaging shock waves up to your knees and lower back. The cushion that promised comfort is accelerating structural wear. They created a perfect industrial loop. Pour the concrete over natural earth. Sell you expensive foam padding to survive it, but you do not have to accept this compromise. Here is your next actionable bridge. During your very next session of movement, find 2 small items of equal weight. 2 light bags of groceries. 2 small books. Hold them firmly in each hand. Let your arms hang naturally by your sides. Stand tall and proud. Now take a slow, deliberate walk across your living room. Keep your chest up. Your gaze forward. Do not rush. Feel the gentle downward pull engaging your core. Feel your body fighting to maintain its perfect, upright posture. This simple, controlled carry signals your body to rebuild. You bypass the trap of modern zoning laws. You deliver a potent dose of biomechanical optimization, demanding that your spine and nervous system work together to regain your stability. You are no longer a passive passenger in an industrialized world. You are the architect of your own resilience. We cannot rewrite the zoning laws of our cities overnight. We cannot tear up the endless miles of flat, sterile concrete that surround our homes. We cannot rip the elevators out of modern medical facilities. But true physical autonomy was never about controlling the outside world. It has always been about mastering the microenvironment within your own 4 walls. The architecture of longevity is not found in a billion-dollar smart city. It is built in the quiet, deliberate moments when you choose a slightly uneven surface over a perfectly flat floor, demanding that your nervous system stay awake. It is built when you safely carry a moderate load across your living room, sending a vital signal to your spine to preserve its density. It is built when you take the stairs, one deliberate step at a time, telling your bones that structural integrity is still required. These are not workouts. They are acts of profound biomechanical optimization, and you now hold the blueprint. By acknowledging the industrial trap, you have already taken the most crucial step. You are no longer a passive participant in a system designed to atrophy your strength. You are an active guardian of your ancestral joint mechanics. Do not let the modern world convince you that your biological machine is failing. It is simply waiting for the right instructions. Give it gravity. Give it texture. Give it the ancient resistance it craves. Today, we exposed how the physical architecture of modern convenience is quietly redesigning your skeletal framework. The floors beneath you, the elevators you ride, the shoes you wear. But there is another trap, one that does not sit in your architecture. It sits in your kitchen, in your bathroom cabinet, on the shelves of every wellness store. The modern wellness industry took a brilliant evolutionary truth, captured it, and turned it into a trademarked monopoly. They bottled the secrets of centenarians and sold them back to you at a premium. The blue zones were never meant to be sold. Why are you paying for the illusion of longevity? And who decided they could own the blueprint of human health? That is next.